Welcome to Metroid Other Mono. I'm running out of M's for stuff for this.
You actually used two M's there because you used mono and then mono.
Oh so, my.
You might want to be careful.
Ooh, breaking your own rules there. Am I saving again?
Oh, I don't know what you're like.
Hey, better.
We're like, no.
Better safe than sorry. Oh, thank God I sort of redeemed that. What am I doing? Okay.
You just have to make sure everything's in order. You got to make sure the save is good.
Maybe that's it. I usually cut this sort of shit out, but
yeah, your blasts look a lot more powerful now.
Yeah, they actually, they don't feel any more satisfying to shoot, though.
I know, but it's like you should have used this the entire time.
If only. And now we have the repeat enemies. This is the part of the game where it sort of puts you through a gauntlet of the enemies that you face throughout the game. They don't really become more powerful. They just sort of throw, like, you know, in this circumstance, like, two at you.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I mean, the problem with this game is that, like, it scales you, it does not scale the enemies.
I mean, that's okay, right? It's when you think about how to scale that sort of difficulty, it's a little weird, right? Because you want the player to feel more powerful, and the way to do that is to actually not scale the enemies, right? Is to keep them weak so that they can be like, oh, when I started this game, these enemies took 3 hits, now they only take 1, and that feels awesome, you know. So I have very conflicting feelings about that, right?
So do
like,
I.
It's a weird. It's a difficult design decision to make.
Well, it would make sense why they throw, like, you know, start to throw multiples of the enemies at you too, because it gives the impression it's like, oh look, this is gonna be way harder than it was before, but you know, at the same time, you're overpowered now.
Is it just because the frame rate just like chug for like a second there?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Wii game, you know.
Well, I mean, like it's like that. Sorry, go on.
No. You say what you were gonna say. It was
well, I mean, like, you know, the thing is though, like, I actually don't really forgive that really because, I mean, we can go on about how the Wii is less powerful than, like, you know, an Xbox or whatever, an Xbox 360 or a PS3, but I mean, the Wii still can accomplish pretty good stuff. I mean, like, you know, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption still stands as like one of the best looking games of that generation, and it was on the Wii.
Yeah, the only times the Prime games really stuttered was when you were opening a door, but that's because it was loading the next part of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, Metroid Prime 3 Metroid Prime 3 looks better than like most Xbox 360 and PS3 games.
I need to go back to that game. Yeah, I remember it looking pretty good.
It looked amazing, and it still does.
This is sort of Nintendo's strength, right? Is that like they don't really need super high-tech consoles. Like they make their consoles to what kinds of games that they make. You know,
well, they
and they've done really well with the Wii and the Wii U. Like both of those consoles, like the games on them all look really good. Some of those games are the best-looking games of this generation, right? Like same kind of deal. But you know, this is a third party, and it's a good-looking game. You know, a little bit of chugging here and there is like that can be forgiven. That's not a game breaker.
Yeah, but at the same time though, like it's funny you mentioned that because recently I started reading this, or I guess getting back to this book. That it's basically talks about how Nintendo designed the Wii and
What's
how
the book called?
Crap, it's like right beside me, and now the game escapes me. 1 second. So it's called Codename Revolution by Stephen E. Jones and George K. Vathukal. I'm sorry if I bastardized that name. Oh God, it's chugging. But that book is basically about how Nintendo designed the Wii and how they designed it for like a social space rather, and capitalize on the social space by having it as like a console that took advantage of this, like the physical space, as opposed to just like, you know, you and your TV. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they designed, and they also designed deliberately for what are you doing?
Okay, so actually, I wanted to keep this part in because to get this power up, I believe it's a missile expansion. You have to charge your way through that hallway and through the door. The problem is the door needs to load, and it loads that way every time, so it can totally screw up your jump.
Yeah. Anyway, like the Wii was designed for like, you know, low power consumption, to be family friendly, to have a certain image, and I mean, like, you know, Nintendo does that, and they do that pretty well, even though, like, I still think they did it well with the Wii U, but just not as well as the Wii.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Wii, when I think of the Wii, I think of, like, a game like... I think of, like, WarioWare Smooth Moves, which is, like, one of my favorite games, and I adore that game. And, like, that game doesn't need a ton of processing power, and that game looks great. Or I think of, like, Rhythm Heaven Fever, which is amazing. And, like... you know, it's the same deal. Like, you don't need these huge graphics. They've been very good at making consoles to their needs and not really to be at parity with the industry, and that's just fine, right?
Any objections, Adam?
I find it hilarious that she's now asking Adam for authorization, and he's not even there.
Well, she's told, like, at this point, she's just trying to be like a rebel.
Yeah,
but
this is another thing where
cause.
I feel like if you made Adam a more antagonizing sort of force in this game, that actually, like, a scene where something happens and Samus sort of, like, breaks free of the shackles of Adam's restrictions, right? And then she has that clip, and it actually, like, that would hit pretty nicely, right? It would be like, ha, yeah.
But that would be if Adam had...
Now I don't have to anymore.
But that would be if Adam had any sort of say over what Samus is supposed to do. Like I've said several times, like, in reality, Samus should not give a fuck what Adam thinks.
Yeah, and again, like that, and, you know, and we've gone back to this a ton of times now, but like, it's why this game would have made so much more sense if this was way earlier on in Samus's career, like right after Zero Mission,
or right before Zero Mission.
That's definitely true, but I also think that, like, yeah, making Adam a villain would have been the thing for me, like the thing to make all of this work. Would have been if Adam was a villain.
How would have that worked in Fusion then? Out of curiosity.
In Fusion?
Yeah, because Fusion,
I don't know. Isn't he just a computer in Fusion?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, he is, but like Samus sort of creates a connection with the computer.
Yeah, if you want an in-universe explanation, here's the thing. Adam is the computer. In Fusion, he helps Samus out so that in this game, he can get Samus into his clutches and get her to trust him. And then, like, uses that trust to put some shit into her suit that makes her have to obey him. Again, this is a very, I'm thinking of this in a very Jessica Jones / Scott Pilgrim type situation.
Well, I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but the way things work out in this game, it's not like preparation for Fusion in any way, shape, or form.
Things work out in this game?
Yeah. Things work out, just never well.
There was a earlier. There's definitely like things in this game that make me really think that they just didn't finish it. Like there's that one. I went through a small corridor like a few minutes ago in the Morph Ball, and at the end, and I got a missile expansion. But in that room, on the other side of the room, it looked like there was like a passageway there that you could like blow up using the Morph Bomb. But it's just it's just an invisible wall.
Wait, why is she like running from you again? Didn't we already establish that like she's not the enemy?
Yeah, did she just totally do a double take? Like, oh, I'm gonna walk, and it goes right back out.
Yeah, like she saved her from the what's his face before.
I think at this point, Madeline may be worried that Samus is getting closer to the truth of the space station.
But at the same time, like if she's worried about that, and you know, considering how apparently smart she is, she'd realize she has nothing to gain by running away at this point.
This could be all part of an act, you know, because like she's just standing right there. I think MB's just trying to mess with Samus at this point. I don't know. Again, it's really tough to say because they never really justify this. But I believe the rest of this part is mostly cutscene. So we're nearing the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Yeah. Again, this is the fact. This kind of rubs me the wrong way, just of her name, because I'm just like, again, is Metroid a universe where Earth is a thing? Because like, you know, before this game, nobody had like, you know, these general English Earth culture sort of names. Like even Samus is kind of like an odd name.
This is also a
now
very
just-
Bergman. That's a very Jewish name. I think I've brought this up before.
Yeah, you wanted to see if there was any bearing on it in the...
Space Jews. This is like the end of that Mel Brooks movie. Have you guys ever seen History of the World Part 1?
Oh, yes.
Jews in space. This is
I had to.
this is a direct result.
This is the spiritual successor at last.
The Zabizans will continue to evolve and resurrect as real space pirates.
Can somebody explain this? Because, like, as real space pirates, like, what does that even mean?
I haven't been paying attention to all of this exposition, so I actually don't
Space
know.
Pirates just means like this organization, and even though they seem to always portray them almost always as like this generic crab sort of alien race, but I mean, like, what does that even mean, real space pirate? I feel like we're getting a lot of stereotyping here.
Maybe they just need to earn their stripes. Maybe,
Super aggressive.
you know, they gotta kill someone to become a real space pirate. To get from the
wanna
Space
become a
Pirate
real
Federation. They need to get their space pirate license.
I don't think space pirates ever killed anything before.
They've killed, just never on screen, because you're literally the only thing ever fighting them.
Right. Gotta keep it PG.
That's why they sent a deleter.
As the deleter, that still kind of gets me. Like, we're not playing Digimon. Like, why do we even need?
I think it's an okay name. That's an alright name for like a
sci-fi.
Is it like a Planet Eater? What is it?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, deleter doesn't even make any sort of sense. I mean, in the context of what this game is. Like, I mean, you know, deleter makes more sense if you're playing, Mega Man Battle Network or something like that. Like, in the Metroidverse, I'm sure they can come up with a better name.
Actually,
It's just such a weird, like, I think this may be the last time they ever referenced the deleter. And, like, I think the concept of it is fine, and, like, the reason why the deleter exists in the context of the Federation's mission here. But just, like, wrap it up, guys. They just totally drop it after this.
Yeah, they completely forget that plot point exists and, you know, never actually come up with the big reveal.
Yeah,
That's not possible.
it's pretty lame.
The Metroids were terminated along with Zebes.
Who is surprised? Because, I mean, it's not like this franchise is named after that one thing.
Yeah, and God help you if the Federation's ever gonna let go of, like, trying to create bioweapons from these things. These guys don't stop.
Yeah. I'm surprised that she's not more known for annihilating the Metroids than the Space Pirates.
They were reproduced from a piece of cell structure.
Good point.
salvaged
Yeah.
by the
I mean, what
Federation
is
and
more of a
they're
threat in
facility.
this universe, the Metroids or Space Pirates? Because I feel like Space Pirates are sort of like the sole terrorist organization in this world, in this universe. Metroids, on the other hand, they're certainly a threat, but they're one that Samus has single-handedly kept at bay. So maybe the rest of the universe isn't totally and I'm reading
At
into this
first,
way
no
too
one
much,
thought
but
that the creature was
Wait a
evil.
second.
They
They
didn't think
they
it had potential as a bioweapon at all.
I love the slow-mo part. It's like we're reminiscing about this cute little creature that we ran into so long ago.
Until
yeah, but I mean, like, you know, it still kind of strikes me that Ridley is now a Pokemon.
Ridley had played dead and lured the scientist into
Gotta
his
catch them
cage.
all.
What was left? It was a horrible sight.
So they couldn't just kill it?
I guess not. Because I guess the Furby was too powerful at that point.
Well, no, but they already see that, you know, there was a Furby and it killed somebody, and they already didn't think it was capable of being a bioweapon. Then what are they keeping it for?
Because it's the Federation. That's what they do, Jordan.
Yeah.
They bring all this upon themselves.
MB.
Okay, there's your hint. There's your
It
cue.
wasn't the mother herself.
MB connects with
MB
something
evolved
in
as
this
it
game.
communicated with the Metroids. It appears as though it began to become self-aware.
We have
Much like
Skynet.
the original Mother Brain. It's really quite.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been I have no idea what you guys have been talking about at all for the past like 3 minutes. I've just been watching this thing.
Oh, it's okay. Neither does this cutscene.
I don't really know what's happening. They made a fake Mother Brain. Why? To control Metroids? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yep.
Which again makes no sense because I'm pretty sure the Mother Brain didn't have shit on the Metroids.
No, Metro. I believe Mother Brain. And hold on, I could be getting my lore mixed up, but didn't Mother Brain wasn't she connected to the oh, what are they called? The Chozo or something?
Not as far as I know. Like all I know is that she was sort of like the main supercomputer and leader of the space pirates.
Right. Hold on, I gotta look this up because that's a lore thing that I thought was pretty interesting, but did not ever get the impression of by playing the games alone.
One thing that I especially didn't like is that if you ever watch some of the teaser material or trailers for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, in that game they made these things called Auroras, which are kind of like these gigantic brain supercomputers that the Federation uses for intelligence. And they pretty much, without saying it, they said that Mother Brain was an Aurora, and which made so much sense, and this game just totally completely ignores that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it right here, actually, on this wiki article that I'm reading. The brain was also bright red. Unlike the Federation's Aurora units, which are neuron masses enclosed in metallic shells, Mother Brain's hide is strong enough that she remains completely exposed.
Yeah, but the thing is though, if you looked at one of the trailers for Metroid Prime 3, and when they were talking about the Auroras, they actually had a blueprint of a room that was basically exactly like the Mother Brain chamber in Metroid.
Yeah, the Metroid series is a little infamous for having those sort of things hidden here and there. I believe in Metroid Prime 3, Samus can scan a computer and it says Project Dread is nearing completion. And Project Dread was supposed to be the game called Metroid Dread, which was supposed to be a I'm not sure what it was, but I think there's some concept art floating around for it. But
Don't worry.
yeah, it seemed like a very cool concept.
Wow, she's short.
Or Samus is.
Yeah, Samus is canonically supposed to be really tall, right? At least I know that she's sort of started that way. I think they've sort of made her shorter every game or something.
I found that little segment. It was the Mother Brain backstory was from the Metroid manga. According to this, Mother Brain begins as an ally of the Chozo and makes her first appearance as a small flying monitor system. And the Chozo uses her to control several machines and keep track of data and reports. And she and baby Samus met.
Yeah, but she never has any sort of control over Metroids. That's the thing.
Do you think it's weird that we're flashing back to a scene that we literally just saw? Why is it like
we
this?
literally
really
just went over this.
Storytelling at its absolute finest.
Jeez. Do you feel like that whole scene was kind of like a Metal Gear Solid solution to a Metroid problem?
Actually, that may be the best way to define it.
Because that was a real, late game Metal Gear Solid twist, except with none of the meaning or interest.
Oh, it's the deleter, and it's the last time he'll ever be mentioned.
Is it the deleter, though? Will we ever find out?
Has to be, because he's literally the last one.
Yeah, I think all the other ones have kicked the bucket one way or another.
Yeah. So
Gunshot, and then it pans back to Madeline, and it turns out she's actually alive, and then Big Boss comes out, and it's all crazy.
the next thing you know, Samus has to kill Metal Gear Metroid.
Mother Brain?
Oh God, with a brain.
MB thing, that is a thing that would happen in Metal Gear Solid of being
oh God,
we made it to be a simulation.
Next thing you know, Samus will be hiding in a box or a ball.
Yeah, they just totally give her a box.
Or she turns into a box.
Yeah.